All right, good morning to you. Welcome to VOP this morning on Voice of the People Television. Well, it looks like it's going to be a wet day, and airlines are being postponed for the weekend. Well, I do hope that if this will not affect you if you intend to fly. Welcome to the program. I am Moses Humphrey.
And I'm Fina Okechukwu. You're welcome to today's program.
And I am Chukwuma Okoro. Good morning and thanks for joining us.
All right, so let's let you into what we'll be talking about today. Simon Epka dares federal government reveals Biafra actualization after 50 million votes referendum. Plus, Nigerian government enforces no work, no pay policy on striking doctors amid ongoing failure to rescue abducted colleague. Oh well, these are the issues on the table for today. But before we go straight into them, Fina.
All right, other ones that made it to our radar this morning amid growing tensions within the Nigerian diaspora. That's the NITCOM chair, Abike is under scrutiny for her silence on a viral audio clip in which Yoruba speakers urge unity against the Igbo community, accusing them of tarnishing Nigeria's reputation. This perceived bias has drawn sharp criticism, especially after Dabiru Erewa swiftly addressed recent threats from a Nigerian-Canadian woman against the Yoruba, highlighting the ongoing ethnic division among Nigerians abroad. The audio, which sparked outrage among listeners, features contrasting views from Nigerians of different tribes, raising concerns over rising ethnic antagonism and questioning NITCOM's role in resolving this conflict. It's like this is not going to die down anytime soon. Moses, yesterday we had this.
It's going to die down. It's going to die down.
But the way people are going about it, videos are beginning to surface on social media. We saw there's a video of the first lady now. She was making a statement about the Igbos and all that. And someone said something that interested me. Someone said, that video? I don't really think if it is a recent one because it was on X.com. And someone was like, Dabera should do what? Should go first if she's to arrest people or to, go ahead to talk about how people should be treated when it gets to, making hate speech and all that she should go back and start doing the arrest from those who started it. Now, do you think this is going to still die down anytime?
This will die down this is basically a distraction. It's a distraction. It will die down. We are one Nigeria. We have our politicians have made good use of our fault lines, but then this is a phase that will die down. Now, this woman, Ohanes and Igbo, have come out to say, look, she's not. We don't recognize.
Which
her.
faction of the Ohanes and Igbo now?
A faction of the Ohanes and Igbo have come out to say, look, we don't recognize her. They have dissociated themselves from her statements, and Nigerians abroad too are coming to say, look, this is not what we are here for. We are not here to kill ourselves, all right? We can be together as one, regardless of the fact that during the live conversation where she made those statements, there were people cheering her on. But ultimately, you know what they say about not washing your dirty linen outside. I think Nigerians will come together, and this will just be a phase by the weekend.
Chukuma, do you also share the same thought?
I think I have a slightly different opinion.
All right.
But I think the issue now isn't about what Amaka said. What Amaka said is highly condemnable.
Yeah.
Outright. Every right-thinking human being condemns that. But I think the issue in discussion now is the role Abike Dabere is playing the whole thing. Abike unfortunately has wrongly profiled herself by her actions. She seems clearly biased in her role as a government official that represents an entity within the Nigerian government. She has clearly shown bias by the way she puts out information regarding a certain group of people. The Igbos in particular. Anytime the Igbos, people of the Igbo ethnic group, anytime there's this kind of, they stray away from the normalcy, she's very quick to highlight it. Unfortunately, she hasn't done that for the Yoruba people, where she comes from. Let us call it what it is.
So you think she's being sentimental?
Very biased. Okay. Very biased. And it is not good for us. So what Amaka did It's wrong.
Yeah.
You can't profile an ethnic group wrongly like that. You want to kill people. Why do you have to kill them? Why do you have to kill them? It's condemnable. And if anyhow you turn it, what she did was wrong. You know. But the issue now is Abikere, the role she is playing. Now, a certain group of people from the Southwest have come to say, look, Igbo should go, this one and all of that one. And Abikere Dabiri is very silent.
She didn't say anything about that. Still.
And it speaks to the larger climate of hate.
I'm not holding for her now.
You know?
But the person that said, I don't think it was her purview to comment on, because that wasn't a Nigerian in diaspora. That basically, from what we know,
Adeyinka Jr. was in the UK. He was in the diaspora. Was in the UK.
I wasn't
calling for Igbos to go.
Yeah.
You know, and I made mention of that yesterday, that probably she is taking on this one because Amaka is in Canada, so it falls under her purview.
Yeah.
But what about Adeyinka Jr.? What about the Igbos that went to steal in
Dubai,
in UAE,
yeah,
and she was quick to profile them? But we saw some Yoruba prostitutes in Italy, and she was silent. That is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So she should understand that, look, my position is that of, I represent the Nigerian government. And
the Nigerian people.
The Nigerian people, all of us are one humanity. I keep talking about it.
So do you think this is going to die down anytime soon?
No, of course it will die. But like I said, it speaks to the larger climate of hate.
So do you also think it's more like a distraction, you know, for Nigerians not to look at what is really happening and start?
I mean, nobody asked Amaka to make the statement. So it's not a distraction. It's not diversionary.
All right. And with that, to move over to another one, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, has issued a 1-month ultimatum to traders and market stakeholders to reduce the prices of goods and services or face enforcement actions. Executive Vice Chairman Tunji Bello, addressing the growing concerns over unreasonable pricing, highlighted significant discrepancies such as the fruit blender price at $89 in the US being sold for 949,999 naira in Lagos, Nigeria. He emphasized that violators could face severe penalties, including fines and imprisonment under Section 155. Market stakeholders, however, pointed to challenge like high transportation costs, multiple taxation, and exorbitant charges on imported goods as factors driving price increases. They called for government intervention and collaboration with the FCCPC to address these issues while ensuring fair pricing. The ultimatum underscores the government's effort to stabilize the economy amid widespread consumer exploitation concern. Wonderful one, a country where we don't have price regulation to start with, and we also know...
I think this is what they're trying to do.
And we know that we don't have even development. Let's bring it down. Well, we don't have even development in Nigeria.
This is what they're trying to do.
And we're having a price control now, or FCCPC going over traders, where we know we don't have a particular way. For example, we've been crying for resource control in Nigeria. It's not done.
We can't constantly shoot down institutions for not doing what we feel they should do, right?
Okay.
We should also look at our own selves, all right? What they are trying to do, what the FCCPC is trying to do, is to regulate. It's about the same thing. As far as I'm concerned, it's coming late.
Okay.
It's about the same thing the traditional rulers in Oyo State did, where they gave an instruction that the unions in the market should not arbitrarily hike prices.
Do they have transports also that will carry those union people to come to the market to buy their goods to sell?
They gave an instruction that the unions in the market should not arbitrarily hike prices, because it wasn't about the price of goods coming into the market. It was about the unions now. Now, the Oni of Ife gave this instruction, and it was a beautiful thing. He even said that if a stranger being a non-indigent, comes into Oyo State to do business, the person should not be threatened, because that was what they were doing. And we see that happen in marketplaces all over. They threaten people. They enforce a price regime on you regardless of, because of, you know, what the association, what they want to get. So I think it's high time FCCPC brings down the hammer. I understand the place of insecurity hindering free movement of goods and services across the country. I'm coming, please.
We're looking at other aspects
coming
of
from
this.
one place to another. I understand the role of government in ensuring that transportation, we have the rail system that is not really working very well. I'm sure something should be done in that regard. But then the people themselves should ensure that they don't just hike these things. I was in the marketplace the other day. Excuse me. I was in the marketplace the other day. A good that was worth about 15,000 naira. Before now, it was about 8,000 naira, and then they had taken it to 15,000. And I went elsewhere. I went somewhere, and they were telling me 25.
But I hope you know
now,
that
when I moved around the market,
I hope you know that if you check the filling stations, for example, what this filling station is selling the fuel pump price is different from the other one. And this whole thing is actually
like I said, it's a very broad conversation.
I think if FCCP want to come in to say they want to swing this, they should also look at other ways.
Price differentials, is a threat to our economy now. But we also have to factor in the fact that there is inflation. We don't have a price control board, which FCCP is trying to do. And Tunji Bello, fine young man, fine journalist, very brilliant. I've encountered him a lot of times, I would have also liked to speak about, because this FCCPA is also in charge of regulating competition in the market so that they don't create monopolies.
All right.
And they were there, and Owando has been, OVL is now owning the distribution arm of NNPCL, and they didn't say anything about it. So, and all of that.
I hope they'll still go to the market and tell them.
It's clearly outrageous. Something you buy for $89 in the US, and it's like $900.
It's close to
1 million.
That example
is outrageous. It's unacceptable.
That example is an extreme one. Anyway, we'd like for you to join the conversation on our Facebook. Did I say Facebook? YouTube page. We're also on Facebook, by the way. But on YouTube, we are Voice of the People TV, and on all the social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. So click on the subscribe button, click on the notification button as well, so you get to know when we come your way every day. All right? Now, we're going to the papers in 1 minute, so stay with us. Don't go nowhere.
Thank you for staying with us. Moving over to the newspaper headlines, we have the Daily Trust, we have the Blueprint, we have the Nigerian News Direct, the Guardian newspaper, the Daily Times, the Sporting. So a whole lot of papers happen to be before us this morning. I would like to start off with the Guardian newspaper that have its banner headline this morning to be Living in Abuja, the making of a capital city of gross inequality, rags, riches. Living in Abuja, the making of a capital city of gross inequality, rags, riches. And we have a pictorial or a cartoon network there, quite interesting. But anyway, I wouldn't want to go to that cartoon. Let's move over to the other headlines that made it to the cover page of the Guardian newspaper. FG gives traders 1 month to crash prices of goods. Government increases suburb matching grant to 3.5 billion naira. That story is on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper. Afe Babalola cautions against 18 years limit for WAEC and NACO. EKEDC explains disconnection of Unilag after 180 million naira payment. Foreign inflows down by 57.22% as investors appraise portfolio. Over 55,910 civilians killed in Nigeria in 4 years, says report. Ajero vows to fight on, says police invitation, mere distraction to labor struggles. That story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Doctors strike. FG threatens to invoke no work, no pay rule. The story is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. And those are the headlines that made it to the cover page of the Guardian newspaper this morning.
And from the Guardian, we move over to the Daily Trust. The banner headline for Daily Trust reads, Nigerians paid 1.04 billion naira ransom to kidnappers in 1 year. Nigerians paid 1.04 billion naira ransom to kidnappers in 1 year. That's according to a report. 1,056 killed, 7,568 abducted in 1,130 incidents. Credible intelligence lacking. That's according to the former AIG. That's Assistant Inspector General of Police. Ex-DSS boss wants emergency declared on security. Troops neutralized 1,166 terrorists in 29 days. That's according to the Defense Headquarters. There's a pictorial there showing Femi Falana, Ajero's lawyer, with Ajero. Behind him is Deji Adeyunje and some members of executive of the NLC. I guess they went to the police headquarters with him, and
oh yes,
there are 3 pictures.
Like they said they would.
Yeah.
Yes, like they said they would. Beside that pictorial, you have, I returned $10,000 to please Allah. That's according to an airport worker. That's a good one, coming from a good Nigerian. We are good people. Police interrogation, labor movement worth dying for, according to Ajero. That story is on page 25 of the Daily Trust. Strike. Federal government slams no work, no pay policy on resident doctors. You can find that story on page 25 of the Daily Trust. And the downstream headline reads, CBN report warns of rising financial strain for citizens. CBN report warns of rising financial strain for citizens. That story is on page 4 of the Daily Trust. And that will be all from the Daily Trust.
Daily Trust. All right, and so away from the Daily Trust, let's go to another paper now. We have the Punch newspaper right here as well. The banner headline from the Punch reads, Presidential fleet, 200 families displaced as NAF demolishes houses. Soldiers deployed in sight. Property owners demand compensation. FG keeps mum. All right, on top of the nameplate. Governor's Jobs Bazaar. States' wages rise by 900 billion naira. Tinubu OK's 50% electricity subsidy for hospitals, others. NYSC bars poly graduates without IT experience. NYSC bars poly graduates without IT experience. I will build on foundation laid by Obaseki Ighodalo. I wonder if that's a good one. PDP, APC, others sign peace accord September 12th. Well, with these peace accords being signed, we still see hoodlums snatch and grab, ballot boxes and run. And, oh well. Okay. Ajero honors police summons, false terrorism allegation. No work, no pay. No work, no pay threats won't stop strike. Resident doctors. Botox enlargement doctor declared wanted as client dies during surgery. Canada ends visitor to work permit policy. All right. Well, these are the headlines from the Punch newspaper. We have time to do another round.
All right, the Daily Independent this morning, it has its banner headline to be FG plans crack down on businesses fixing hiking prices of goods. The writers to that headline give market associations, transporters 1 month to crash prices. Once individuals cooperate, face substantial fines and imprisonment. And we have the window headlines to be Edo Guba, INEC concerned over parties' non-compliance to electoral process. We can't be intimidated, NLC president boasts after leaving police facility. And from there, we have other headlines. Osigwe sworn in as NBA president vows to tackle justice failures. That story is on page 7 of the Daily Independent. FG OK's 50% electricity subsidy for public hospitals. Begs resident doctors to call off 7-day warning strikes. Tinubu pushes for direct flights between Nigeria and Brazil. Departs for China on official visit. That story is on page 6 of the Daily Independent. EFCC arrests syndicate impersonating Olukoyode in $1 million fraud. New DSS board assures on working with stakeholders for insecurity solution. That story is on page 6 of the Daily Independent. I'll have another bold headline on the cover page of the Daily Independent newspaper this morning. We will do everything to avert looming ASU strike. That is according to the minister. Varsities would have gone under if not for TET Fund. A report according to ASU. And the bottom strip headline on the front page of the Daily Independent newspaper, UBA Business Serious. Experts list innovation, persistence, assessment for lasting businesses. And that story is on page 6 of the Daily Independent newspaper.
And from the New Telegraph, you have the banner headline as striking doctors will invoke no work, no pay, says federal government. Just ahead of, on top of the masthead, you have CBN report puts debt service cost at 2.7 billion naira in 7 months. I'll take that again. CBN report puts debt service cost at $2.7 billion in 7 months.
2.78 billion.
Yes, 2.78 billion in 7 months. That's huge. And just below that, you have Nigerian carrier, federal government, Boeing, signed aircraft acquisition pact. Nigerian carrier? Oh, well, that's a good one. There's a pictorial there, 2 photo ops. I think some businesses, people have businesses to do. Ajero to police. NLC can't be intimidated. We have nothing to hide. NLC can't be intimidated. We have nothing to hide. Nigeria. Kidnappers collected 1.048 billion naira ransom in 1 year. That's according to a report. Even as terrorism will end the day Nigerians say no to it. That's according to the defense headquarters. And Kaduna, soldiers engage bandits in gun battle, kill 8. Tinubu leaves for China on official visit. And that will be all from the New Telegraph.
Right, and that would be all from the newspaper headlines this morning. More to come during newspaper analysis, newspaper review, much later in the day. That's from 9 to 10. In the meantime, Epka-led Biafra exile government urges Nigeria to accept self-referendum results. Epka-led Biafra exile government urges Nigeria to accept self-referendum results. That's the conversation we are diving into right now. So we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll be joined by Barrister Darlington Agumo to talk about this one.
On the street.
We go to bed empty hunger.
To the blaring horns of a hustling city. The loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly.
Thank you for staying with us. It's still VOP this morning. The Simon Ekpa-led Biafra Republic Government in Exile, BRGIE, has called on the Nigerian government to recognize the result of the self-referendum for Biafra's liberation. Ekpa, acting as the Prime Minister of BRGIE, claimed that over 50 million people voted in favor of Biafra's independence, citing marginalization and other long-standing grievances as motivations for the referendum. He urged Nigeria to accept the outcome to avoid what he described as inevitable historic shame. This development follows Nigeria's defense headquarters' ongoing effort to engage the European Union, EU, in securing Simon Ekpa's extradition as tensions continue to rise over the Biafra movement's demand for self-rule. Ekpa has also extended an invitation to Nigerian officials to participate in the upcoming Biafran convention in Finland later this year. In another development, Simon Ekpa has also vowed to defend Canada-based Nigerian woman Amaka Patience Sonberger, who went viral for threatening to harm Yoruba and Edo people. Ekpa made this known in a statement on Thursday through his official X account, and his comment comes after Amaka Sonberger on Tuesday, through her TikTok account, released a video clip where she threatened to harm Yoruba or Edo individuals she encounters. Reacting to the matter, Ekpa stressed that the Biafran government would defend Sonberger. He further urged Sonberger not to panic for any reason at all. And with us in the studio this morning, we have Barrister Darlington Agumo. He will help us to x-ray this topic and help us make sense of it. Barrister Darlington, good morning.
Good morning, Fina, Moses, and
Chukwuma Okoro.
Good
Well,
to have you.
Chukwuma is also, he has opinion on this, so we'll also be posing questions, throwing questions at Chukwuma as he will let us know his opinion on this. Well, he shared a bit of it when, about the Abike Dabiri era's involvement in all of this as it concerns Amaka. But we'll go deeper into, the Biafra conversation.
Now, Barrister, this issue of Biafra agitation, and now we have Simon Ekpa coming up to say that there's a referendum. 15 million people voted for self-rule for Biafra. What do you make of this? What does it really portend?
yeah, Fina, if you ask me, the issue of Biafra and Simon Ekpa, it is the federal government of Nigeria that is fueling it.
Why do you say so?
We have given them suggestions on how to end this thing, but the federal government decided to look the other side. Whatever Simon Ekpa has become today, the federal government created and made it possible. Because if the Igbos in Nigeria, the Southeasterners, have been really integrated into Nigeria, if the insecurity in the Southeast has been taken care of, if the extortion going on there has been, taken care of, if the army of occupation in the Southeast has been removed, my dear, nobody will pay attention to Simon Ekpa. But as it is today, with the way you are treating the Igbos in Nigeria, with what happened during the last election, and so many other things that is well known to everybody, the people feel that they are not part of Nigeria.
So are you of the opinion that he's fighting in good faith now, fighting a good fight for the Igbos in Nigeria from what he's saying?
Look, whenever there is injustice, you don't even need to tell anybody. Dissent will just arise on its own. People will just feel disgruntled. When we go and check anywhere where there is injustice, the type that is going on in Nigeria, consciously people will just become disgruntled.
But Barrister, you know that back in the history, let's take it a bit back, where the issue of agitation began when we have Ojukwu, led and the Aburi Accord and the statement that was made, Nigerians also did not honor that particular convention. Now with this referendum that Mr. Simon Ekpa is talking about and the vote, do you really think Nigerian government will also give heed to it?
Whatever Simon Ekpa is doing, he's on his own.
Well, Barrister,
he's on his own because nobody have recognized him in Igbo land.
Okay, but you did say it's the government of Nigeria that has empowered Simon Ekpa to continue on this path. But is it the government of Nigeria that has consistently made Igbos in the southeast to sit at home on Mondays, an action that has continually affected economic growth in that region?
Moses, please, are you telling me that if Nnamdi Kanu is reduced today, this sit at home will continue?
But Nnamdi Kanu have come up to say, I am not the one responsible for this. And he also said that the sit at home actually happened not to be his order, but we have Simon Ekpa still.
In the consciousness of the Igbo man today, they are paying solidarity to Nnamdi Kanu because of the injustice meted out on him. It's as simple as that. Whether it is created by Simon Ekpa or not, the Igbos are paying solidarity to Nnamdi Kanu's continued incarceration without any justification.
Okay. Let me come to Chukwuma very quickly. Now, still on this conversation, yeah. We've talked about how the elders in Igbo land are canvassing for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. He's been in detention for way too long, and we are looking for a political solution to it. And we've also looked at the activities of Simon Ekpa as one that has continually aided the government or empowered the government to keep Nnamdi Kanu in custody because they tend to link the two of them. Do you think Simon Ekpa is acting in the interest of Nnamdi Kanu and the Biafra people if government harps on his actions to say, look, let's not release this man because he's still a threat to Nigeria's security?
Okay, Moses, I think the larger issue of what is going on in the Southeast and Simon Ekpa's role, speaks to the fact of abdication of responsibility. Life doesn't allow vacuum to exist, As a father, if you don't play a role in the family,
you lose
someone is going to play it for you. Whether in economics or in the other room, or if you don't play it, someone else is going to play it for you. That is what it is. That is life. So, like Barrister Gomo said, clearly what is happening in the Southeast is the inaction of the federal government. Is the inaction of the federal government. If you ask me if Simon Ekpa is speaking or acting in the larger interest of the Igbo people, to an extent, I'll say yes.
To what extent is that?
To the extent that there's a vacuum that the federal government left. Federal government refused to address fundamental issues about the existence of an ethnic group. Left it festering. And like I said, vacuum doesn't exist in life. So he had to step in. Not just now. Nnamdi Kanu stepped in. Owazirike stepped in, to fill those gaps. So if the federal government had acted responsibly, those gaps will not exist. So there will be no person to fill it. Now, the issue now is, do you see how federal government has contributed to this? The federal government, people of the Southeast, people of the Southwest, people of the North Central have been calling for a referendum to decide how we want to live together as a union. And clearly, the federal government has said no. And I don't know why they are jittery about the whole thing. See, referendum is a democratic tool used all over the world for people to decide whether they, not just about agitation, not just about being in a union. In some countries, you conduct referendum before you even amend the constitution. You conduct referendum before you take one issue that people feel, look, the representatives cannot, it is not enough for them to decide on those issues. So you throw it open, referendum, plebiscite, and all of that. All over the world. You had Brexit in 2016. You had the Scotland vote in 2014. Even a military leader, Pervez Musharraf, in Pakistan, used referendum to stabilize his government. You know, so the moment the federal government refuses to put referendum as part of our constitution so that people can, before you even go to the National Assembly to make amendments, the referendum, people can say, let us decide whether we want, in Ireland, they conducted a referendum to decide whether they should adopt same-sex marriage.
Yeah, exactly.
So why do you think the government is mum over this whole happenings?
Because the federal, which happening?
I'm talking about the sit at home, which actually has been making the Southeasterners lose a whole, like so much money. Every Monday, the Southeasterners, they have to sit at home. The 5 states, they sit at home for Mondays. And is that okay for the Southeastern economy and even the Nigerian economy at large?
You know, Fina, the issue about economy and fundamental existence of the people, you know, they are two different things. Okay. I'm not sure the Southeast people have come out to say that they are losing money. Yes. Because, I mean, if you make all the money and you don't have a decision about how you are governed, you don't make input about how someone governs you, then that economic well-being doesn't make sense.
Sitting at home, just one day that Nigerians organize protests from 1 to 10 of August, we have a report that says that 400 billion naira is what Nigeria loses as a nation. Now we come back again to the Southeast, happen to be part of this country that sits at home every Monday. Now, Mr. Chukwuma Okoro, the money that this region is losing, is it economically okay for that region and for Nigerian government?
Fina, the day
they are losing money on it.
We had a protest for one day and we lost 400 billion naira. On the day we didn't do the protest and gained 400 billion naira, what did we do with the 400 billion?
Take it back again to the Southeast, Mr. Chukwuma. These people have been sitting at home for so many months. It's even getting to years now.
Fina, this issue about the fundament is not accidental. It speaks to the fundamental existence of a people. A people in a union who says, look, this is what we want. This is what we want.
So now that we have Simon Epka talking about how 50 million people have voted for a referendum, self-rule for Biafra, you know, Mr. Chukwuma, do you think that this revolt or this vote or this result that Simon Epka projected will actually speak to the Nigerian government?
You see, the referendum conducted by Simon Epka, I don't know how he conducted it. I didn't vote. I've asked a few people, they didn't vote too.
Okay.
So, how it will affect, see, the thing about it is that the tension in the land, you know, when it keeps rising like this and government keeps ignoring it, and I also say that in countries that have unraveled, it is because the government at the center refuse to listen to the yearnings and aspirations of the people, the demands of the people. You know, the government could be having its way every other day, but it will get to a point where this conflict would spin out of control. And when it spins out of control, what do you have? You have war, you have anarchy and all of that. And nobody wants to travel that route again. Nobody wants to travel that route again. So beyond this, what I expect the government to do, look, put in referendum as an article in our constitution. Fina, let me tell you, in all honesty, in all sincerity, if you conduct a referendum today, if you conduct a referendum and ask people from the Southeast whether they want to remain part of the union or not, I'm very sure a whole lot of people will say we want to remain in Nigeria.
That is what you...
So let me bring it back to Barrister now. Let me play the ping pong over to you now. Is it what do you make of the fact that this individual, Simon Epka, who is a who also resides in Finland and has the Finnish passport, is calling for, calling the Foreign Minister Yusuf Tuga and other government officials to come. This is an individual that the government of Nigeria is also trying to repatriate, bring back to Nigeria to answer for things that his words have caused in Nigeria. What do you make of that invitation?
That will tell you that Simon Ekpa is on his own. He's actually exhibiting a useful exuberance. Because I don't see how any Nigerian official will honor such.
I hate to interrupt you. I hate to interrupt your train of thought there, but you did say he's on his own. Chukwuma, who is seated right beside you,
it's his own opinion.
Is of the opinion that Simon Ekpa, like it or not, speaks to the larger desires of those in the southeast.
Look,
but I also talked about his methods.
Hold on. Whatever he is speaking is immaterial. The question is, are the Igbos supporting him? You heard when the Vanessa spoke against him, they went to Aso Rock under Buhari's regime to tell him to bring this guy home so that he can answer for charges. Did anybody do that? Otherwise, I told that Simon Ekpa is exhibiting useful exuberance because whatever he's doing in Finland should be done here, in Eastern region, in Igbo land. He cannot form a government for the Igbos in Finland. As I've always told people, it is the society that prepares the crime. Then the criminal commits it. We have said this severally, and the facts are there.
Are you insinuating that the government is intentionally reluctant to expedite Simon Ekpa?
If not, why not? Moses, let me give you the template here. When this thing started, remember, Simon Ekpa was disowned by IPOB. Remember, up to tomorrow, IPOB have told you they don't know him. He's not acting for him. And that their leader is Nnamdi Kanu. So why didn't the federal government exploit that option and release Nnamdi Ekpa to cut off Nnamdi Kanu? Release Nnamdi Kanu to cut off Simon Ekpa. Because if Nnamdi Kanu come out today, nobody will mention the name of Simon Ekpa. Quote me. If Nnamdi Kanu come out today, that name, Simon Ekpa, will become irrelevant.
But he's still the one making calling the shot in the southeast for the sit-at-home order. That Nnamdi Kanu come up to say no, he's not the one championing.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
So do you also still think nobody will remember him from the way he's going?
Look, you cannot decide for the Igbo man from abroad. It's not possible.
But they still understand and they adhere to
I have told you that the sit-at-home on Mondays is a solidarity for Nnamdi Kanu's continuous detention. Right. If you are doubting me, release Nnamdi Kanu and see whether
somehow enabling it. Can I step in? Can I come in here? Let's get a bit historical here. You see, if you look at the history of agitation, struggle for independence of people, they always have arrowheads. Let's go back to South Africa during the ANC days. The man who happens to be Africa's best son of the 21st century, Nelson Mandela, at a point was disowned by his own people. Oliver Tambo, who managed the struggle from exile, people called South Africans, black South Africans, called for the head of Oliver Tambo outside South Africa. You see, when things like this degenerate to this level, the methods, the processes are no longer defined. So everything becomes fair and good, so long as all is fair and good in warfare, because the end justifies the means. On Simon Ekpa, I didn't say that he speaks for the Igbos, but I said that he's acting in the interest of
the Igbos.
But his methods might not be acceptable to a whole lot of people in the Igbo land. You see, these things are very clear. So if you talk about organizing referendum and inviting the Minister of External Affairs, I mean, he's negotiating. He's a tradable. He's a tradable, whether the minister attends or not, but he has put it out there. You remember when Oliver was busy, going from country to country with Nelson. They even came to Nigeria.
Of course. They
even came to Nigeria, to solicit for arms and all of that. And people back in South Africa were people like the PAC. Okay.
If you would not mind, I'd like for you to hold on to that thought as we have Our phone lines are out there, and you're open to joining the conversation. You have 30 seconds to about a minute, maximum 1 minute, to let your views heard right here on the show if you do call those numbers. So we'll give you not more than 1 minute to air your view. Go ahead, please. All right, so we have a call coming through. Can we hear from this individual? As soon as you call, you let us know your name and your location, and then you get straight to your point.
Good morning.
Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my sister.
Yeah, good morning.
What's your name and location?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Go ahead.
Name and location?
Thank you. I'm calling from Nasarawa.
All right, your contribution, please. Your name.
Yes, I want to contribute to that program.
What's your name?
From Nasarawa.
What's your name?
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
David, go ahead.
Go ahead, please.
Hello?
David,
All
go
right,
ahead.
David, we can hear you, David. Go ahead.
Okay. I want to ask this is my brother where the studio now. Where you say somebody is in your own. You see sometimes this is our Nigeria. If you want a problem, you need to go quick before the problem. Okay, this guy now, this is our Nnamdi Kanu where they arrest people for sale. The guy is outside Nigeria, they do you own. They go bring her for Nigeria. Okay, now, if never solve the problem of Nnamdi Kanu, Nigeria want to go bring some money back from Finland. You see our problem for this country. Okay, it's up now, these people now say, it should start home. They say releasing Nnamdi Kanu. If you make the government to try to release Nnamdi Kanu, whether this start home will stop. Everybody keep quiet. Television will maybe go out of our hands. I like this your program. I like her because since yesterday they follow the program. The God of listener. You need to call the president of Turubu to release Nnamdi Kanu. Whether this is a monetary issue.
Your 1 minute is up. Thank you very much, David from Nasarawa State. Well,
Moses, it is always good to be specific in what you want. Don't mix up things. We cannot be talking of Simon Egba and be talking of Nnamdi Kanu. As far as I'm concerned, Simon Egba is outside Igbo land. So how do you want me to believe that he's acting for me in Finland? No, does it make sense? How can he form a government of Biafra in Finland and he's a prime minister over there? That's why I said I don't know him. I don't know. He's acting on his own. Let him come home here so that we will now know what he stands for, who is sponsoring him.
So
how we know that Nnamdi Kanu,
the sponsorship thing that you just mentioned now, has come up many times. That certain individuals within the government is sponsoring Simon Epka to ensure that the Southeast remains remains as it is. Like
exactly.
Oh, okay.
So these are issues.
I was actually going to ask.
No, that is a fact.
If you buy into that idea.
That is a fact. Because no Igbo man will sponsor Simon Epka to destabilize Igbo land. It can never happen. Some people are sponsoring him. That is why I told you that he's on his own. It's a fact. Let him come home. Let the federal government bring him home if they are serious. Let them bring him home here if they are serious. But they like what is going on there because they want to keep the Igbo man down.
So are you now saying that some individuals are bigger than the government, even when we know that the government actually supersedes every other person?
Oh, really?
Given the fact that some governors in the Southeast have come up to say no more sit at home, and the people also couldn't come out to move around.
That will not tell you that look, you have made it impossible for any Igbo man, especially the Southerners, to believe you because the injustices have entered into their consciousness. Okay. They are asking questions. Why is Nnamdi Kanu still in detention? When the court have said release him, is that not enough for you to build anger in them?
All right.
Moses, when worse things have happened in this country, especially in the north, you saw when Toju Bello was banned, and the federal government official went there to go and visit and officiate over the matter. So how do you define that? How? These are the things that are making the Igbo man to say, oh, so we are not women, we are not part of Nigeria. When they do it over there, they pamper them. But when we just say we don't like what is going on, they clamp down on us.
All right.
You are the one that created the problem. You are the one.
Okay. Well, let's let's get you seem to have an opposing view to his. Go ahead.
Opposing to the extent that he believes that what is going on, that what Simon Ekpa is doing, that Simon is acting on his own. You know, that is we agree with the fact that, look, government has not done enough to stop this. You know, we also agree that the people of the Southeast should be given an opportunity to speak for themselves. You know, the issue of this, the point of disagreement is the fact that Simon is not acting in his interest.
All right, then.
And my own concern here is that.
But is he acting in your own interest?
Someone is acting in the larger interest of the Southeast.
No. He cannot be acting in my interest when it is believed that he's causing insecurity in the Southeast. Yes.
Hold on, please. Let's listen to this Nigerian.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Your name and where are you calling us from, please?
I'm calling from Kaduna.
Please, what is your name?
Well, I've been not taking over the matter. Go ahead.
Hello? Please, what is your name, please?
So what I'm calling is about the program that is going on. Hello?
Go ahead.
Yes, you see, sometimes some of our leaders and people that you speak to is the problem that you have. A man that's sitting there and saying that Simon Ekpa, that the Igbo land don't know what is going on, he's not saying lie. When he comes to sit at home on Monday, can he come out? What is going on is he happy with it? Let them release Nnamdi. The problem of Simon Ekpa will be over. And they see the court of Nigeria released him, and they refuse to release him. And somebody can come out, and Igbos will only need somebody that can tell us the truth and stand. Simon Ekpa is telling the Southeast the truth. Whether he knows it at the government outside or government at home, what is going on in Southeast? People are not happy. Let them release Nnamdi. Let Southeast be free. Thank you.
Mr. Shikuma is saying something.
It's difficult to divorce these facts. The facts are intertwined. You get the point. People are not happy. Both those in the Southeast and outside the Southeast, they are not happy. You know, but the government has not come in to say, okay, let's meet these demands. Release Nnamdi Kanu, conduct a referendum for the people to decide. You know, and there are other variables. Simon Ekpa has clearly become a variable in this, you know, whether we like his methods or not. And there is no method that everybody will assent to. There's no method that everybody will approve. But what is happening in the Southeast? Everybody has condemned it.
But looking at the method it's taken, we have 40 states. The map of Biafra, according to Simon, but we have 40 states, which he described to be the new map of Biafra. And some people have not really come up to say, we are not part of this map. And they also have the flag. Now, if we are looking at the path he's taken to get this, his voice heard, he also conducted a referendum that have over 50 million people.
That we cannot
times
confirm those that participated in
that is it. Which happened to have like times 2 of the number of people that voted in the 2023 general election in Nigeria. Now, Mr. Chukuma, are you also still saying that he's not working the way he should or he's supposed to? Fighting for the cause of these people, you said a larger chunk of them are buying his idea.
You see, Fina, I also said that this young man is negotiating.
He's not negotiating. He just invited people.
With your actions.
No, Mr. Chukuma Okoro, he just invited people for a Biafran conference that he even have a date to it. He said he's inviting people to come for the November. The time is coming, November 29th
and
convention in Finland. He has date, time, and venue.
You know when I say that he's negotiating, do you know what I mean? Okay. You can negotiate with your actions. You can negotiate with words without sitting on a round table. The guy is negotiating. He's putting out information there, you know, telling you that there's a Biafran government in exile in outside. As they have the ANC in exile. Look at what happened between Sinn Féin and the IRA in Ireland and all of that. This man is negotiating to the point that he is able to put this out in the international community. To the point, look at what happened in South Sudan. At the point, after a very long period of carnage, Colin Powell had to step in. They now brought out the CPA, the Comprehensive Peace Agreement, after a referendum. What Simon, you and I know that there is no way now you come to Nigeria and say this is Biafran government and the capital is here and you have 40 states.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Barrister, hold on. You know, these things is not to the extent that it is not a legal document, but he's putting it out there for people to look at it. He is negotiating to the point that he wants to draw in both the federal government and the international community to step in and resolve this issue. The fact that he has said that there are 40 states does not mean that automatically there are 40 states. The fact that he has said there is Biafran government in exile does not mean that they've been admitted into the United Nations.
So where does his movement and his negotiation leave the broader movement of Biafra? Remember that this cause started even what led to the war that we once have in Nigeria, the civil war. Where does this leave to the broader movement of Biafra?
Like, I keep going back to South Africa. We had the ANC.
Let's bring it back to Nigeria.
No, I want to create an analogy.
Okay, fine.
You had the ANC. You know, you had the PAC led by Robert Bob Sobukwe. You know,
yes.
You had the communists. You had other people, the coloreds and all. Everybody, they were working at cross purposes until a point when it became convenient for them to join together.
Bring it back again to what happened that led to a conference that happened in Aburi in Ghana, where there was a declaration on a stamp. A signature was signed, depending on it to say, let them go because of the marginalization they actually pointed out. And this happened in the international body. Mr. Chukwumokoro, you're a historian, you understand that. And then why did the federal government of Nigeria renege on acknowledging that particular document?
I think feel that this is out of
No, because we're looking at Biafra now, still agitating after so many years.
Meanwhile, Aburi didn't say let them go.
He didn't say let them go. He didn't say let them go. He's on.
Aburi said, let's confederate. Aburi didn't say let them go. He said, let's confederate.
Yes.
Let's confederate. And when they came back, you know, a certain group of people pressured Gowon to renege on that agreement. And we are still going back to that issue. After how many years?
What they promised Biafra, did they fulfill it?
They didn't. You know, even after independence. So, in the broader perspective, you know, at the end of the day, like I told you, this is a struggle. The processes are not laid out. There is no cast in concrete. At the end of the day, whether the government gives accepts referendum, whether there's a breakaway, which we don't want, through warfare, we don't want that again, or anyhow, we walk around this issue.
Wait, sorry, excuse me. You don't want a breakaway through warfare, or you don't want a breakaway?
No, we don't want a breakaway through warfare.
Okay.
We don't want a breakaway through warfare.
So there could be a breakaway. If all the parties involved, Nigeria and the agitators of Biafra come together, and the Southeasterners come together and agree, there could be a breakaway.
And how are we going to achieve that?
No,
if you throw it up in a referendum,
it's not
ask the people to vote.
It's separation.
Ask the people to vote. Moses, if there's a vote now, if there's a referendum is conducted, and the vote is, we want to stay, trust me, nobody will talk about Biafra.
I am telling you.
Nobody will talk about Biafra.
Just like it happened in Britain.
But the fact that a certain group of people are saying, no, the unity of this country is not negotiable. It's not negotiable. You can negotiate life. If you don't want to live, you die.
Abi.
And that is what referendum is talking about.
If I will take it from that statement you just made, you can't just die. It's a crime to the state if you take your own life.
So you can go to your you can lock yourself in the
but it's a crime
and take off.
It's a crime.
They'll prosecute the dead, Abi.
They'll prosecute the dead.
Well, the barrister knows that it's a crime to take one's life. So you can't just say, look, you want to go. So if government is saying it's non-negotiable, I think they have something that's.
But euthanasia is allowed.
Pardon?
Euthanasia. If you are having a terminal sickness and the thing is punishing you and there is no solution.
In some countries it's not allowed.
All right, so
in some countries it's not allowed. In some countries it's allowed.
So, but it's not terminal yet when it comes to the existence of the Southeasterner or the Southeastern region.
Most almost gone beyond terminal because the people have been shut out. Let me commanding Moses,
except no, people don't want to address this issue. We have made it clear. We are not here to start defending what is indefensible. Even the federal government of Nigeria knows that the Southeast has been marginalized. Some leadership of APC and this government have gone to this action and they have made it clear. So what are you doing? These are people very diligent, very industrious. Why do you shut them out? Why do you treat them as if they don't matter? These are things that are agitating your mind. Are you telling me that if the Southeast are included in governance today, everybody will talk of what is going on? I'm just giving you examples of what's going on in the Southeast today. What was the reason for that? Look, Moses, people have done worse things, and yet nobody. Under Buhari regime, Sunday Igboho addressed a secessionist address.
Let's
he did it. What happened to the Southwest? Did anybody surround them?
Let's be clear on a few things. What do you think is the fear, or what do you think is hindering the larger Nigerian population from giving the Southeasterner a chance, as you have put it?
It is because they are afraid.
Of what exactly?
Good. The same fear that they created during the war. The same fear that made them to close down the UNN, Chemical Engineering Department. The same fear that made them not to recognize the potential of the Igbo man, that he's going to excel. That is nothing else. If not, tell me, what did you do wrong?
Explain that fear to a child that was born 10 years ago, or 15 years ago, and has absolutely no knowledge of the war.
Let me not tell you. The Southeasterners believe in what they can do with their hands and with their head.
And the
Nigerian state doesn't want it. The Southeasterners want to exhibit and demonstrate their potential, but the Nigerian state is not interested. The Southeasterners want to demonstrate their God-given potential, that they are capable of doing things that can take them to the world. The Nigerian state is not ready for that. Go and check, especially our brothers from the north. Everything we have said and done to make Nigeria fall, they will shut it down. And the Southeasterners say, no, we don't want to be kept down. We don't want to be kept behind. We don't want people to slow our pace. We want to move forward. That is the fear, nothing else. After all, is there any other thing the Southeasterners have done? Mention, tell me that particular thing. Somebody will come out and tell me that the Igbos, they are causing trouble in Nigeria. They're always fighting. They're always quarreling. They're always protesting. Can you attribute that to the Igbo man? Please. Tell me that thing they have done wrong. If not, that they want to move forward in life, and you want to put them down. That's nothing else.
All right, Barrister, do you think that this issue of Simon Ekpa bringing out the results from the referendum vote, do you think it's going to in any way heighten the tension of the Southerners and the agitation?
It's not going to have any effect. It will only have effect if the Ohaneze, which is the Apesibo, socio-cultural group, is behind Simon Ekpa. That's why you have leadership. Anything that the leadership of a people do not support, I don't think they fly you. That's why I keep saying that Simon Ekpa and those who are sponsoring him, they are on a road. They are on their own. He knows those sponsoring him. And I can tell you for free that the federal government of Nigeria knows all that's going on. They cannot deny it.
So you're saying that the federal government of Nigeria is sponsoring?
They are behind it. If not,
the federal government of Nigeria is sponsoring?
I said they are behind it. If not, look at all the things we have told them. Release Nnamdi so that the issue of Simon Ekpa will die. Nobody will make reference to him again. Why can't they do that? Moses, what is that thing that Nnamdi have done that people have not done, especially in the north? Moses, some people went outside this country and brought in terrorists that have been killing people in Nigeria for years now. I mean, slaughtering Nigerians. What are you telling me? And the federal government has not even told these people that did this thing, you have committed a treasonable felony. Why would you do this? They came out to the open and beat their chest. Yeah, we brought them. Come, jihad have started. You didn't do anything about them, and you are punishing people who did not do anything. How can they be happy with you? No, tell me. They talk and do anything with arrogance. One of them even went as far as threatening the first lady that God said they should kill her. Can anybody in the Southeast make such a statement? I am telling you facts that you can verify. Why is it that the federal government have not taken action against these people? And the Igbo man who didn't do anything, you are punishing him unnecessarily. How can he be happy? How? Is it how countries are built? Remember that since after the war, we have kept ourselves. We didn't bother anybody. Even after the election and what they did to us, did we retaliate? Moses, since Nigeria was created, have you had any time in the history of this country that people in the Southeast were rioting and killing non-indigens? Please tell me the date. Have we retaliated anything they did to us, either in Lagos here or in the north? Or you talk now? These are issues. And you people left it and you are disturbing the Igbo man. It's very annoying now. It's very annoying.
Oh, okay. We have comments from from our viewers. We have some of them on WhatsApp via that number that is on your screen. We also have some on YouTube. It would have been nice if we have those things on the screen.
On the screen, yeah.
But, well, let's see. I think you have them. You may just want to go through that.
All right. We have a message from one that says, as long as Nnamdi Kanu is still under Nigerian custody, we know Simon Epka is our leader. And another comment, Barrister Agumo, wait till December 2nd. You understand what we want.
Do we have names attached to those messages?
I wonder.
Oh, okay.
Well, I hope they did not include my name.
If the messages, if the senders of those messages did not include their names, I don't think we should take them. All right,
Exactly.
those messages should have
Names.
Names, so we could say, okay, this message was sent by this person from this location.
All right, and
If you have any, you take anyone that has a name and location attached to it.
Yes. So
But if
many
you're
of
sending
them.
messages to the number is on your screen. 0905 540 2974 0905 504 2974. That's the number. You could send your WhatsApp messages. You could call us on that number as well. But when you do send your messages, include your name and your location in your message. Thank you very much.
Right, we'll have to go take this messages, I think, much more later. Yeah,
all right then.
Much more later.
Chiduma,
Yes.
let's have your thoughts now.
My final thought on it is this. You see, the federal government is clearly, created a gap which certain group of people, Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Epka, have come to feel, And I also like to, I keep going back to our recent history. A recent history of this Fourth Republic. Between 1999 and 2007, there was no call for agitation. There was no agitation for anybody. Nobody was asking to leave.
Exactly.
Nnamdi Kanu was asking, how can we make this country better?
Exactly.
Nobody was asking to exit this union. Why? Because Obasanjo, Olusegun Obasanjo, a Westerner, a Yoruba man, made on the same, became the president, and he distributed resources equally.
Inclusive government.
Inclusive government. Everybody was happy. There was no agitation in the north. There was no agitation in the middle belt. The agitation in the south was based on the fact that the federal government, the previous government, had also neglected the people and criminalized them. So when these young men reacted, the federal government, the military had to step in at the command of the president. Iradua came. He even said, oh, these people, okay, I think the government has neglected them a
long time.
He put up a policy, the amnesty, that came with empowerment and all of that. So many of them were sent abroad to go and study.
Exactly.
Some of them trained as pilots, some of them as engineers. They came back and became useful to themselves.
Yes, and giving them a
Jonathan
sense of
continued the whole thing. Jonathan
So it's basically
distributed.
the APC administration that has
Exactly. It was when Buhari came and became so sectional, so nepotistic and all of that. There are people in the service said, Nnamdi said, no, this can't be happening to us. That is the origin of all these things. And the federal government has clearly not addressed this. And you expect the people to keep quiet. They will not keep quiet. They won't.
Okay.
So when this kind of conflicts remain unresolved, I keep saying, they spin and spin out of control. And that is exactly what we are seeing now.
So spinning out of control.
It's spinning out of control with the scandal that is going on everywhere.
It's not your concluding thoughts because you're extending this.
Incidentally, the thing is not even limited to the southeast. People in middle belt are complaining.
And that is why I want to ask you this question now. Since you know it's not limited to a particular, place, maybe the southeast, what do you think that what do you think now will happen after this convention that Biafra is organizing the convention on November 29th to 3rd of December? What perception do you think this will have in international body or globally?
It's
happening in Finland.
You are giving too much dignity to this conversation.
Because that was how we wake up to say nobody is going to sit at home. After Nnamdi Kanu have said no sit at home again in the Southeast, but till today, people still sit at home.
You know why?
And people have died also in line with that sit at home order.
The agitators got a buy-in from the people. The sit at home is an expression of the people's will.
So now that we're having a convention...
Even when the state governments have come to say, Enugu state governor has clearly said, if you lock up your shop, if you do this, we are going
it happened also in
Nnamdi. And it hasn't happened. People are expressing their will.
So don't you think the people's will also happening
when Peter Mba came into office, he brought security agents to ensure that they protect the people that come out to do their businesses. But then we saw a situation whereby people attempted to come out but were killed.
Yeah.
They were shot. And then out of fear...
Who was shot?
Well,
the people that were shot were killed by the police.
Let's take this call. We have a caller. Good morning to you. Welcome to the conversation. Your name, location, and your contribution.
Okay, so I like the program bring up this morning. So what I'm trying to do here is that the issue of nowadays is I should bring it back to our Igbo description. It says, "Oh, you hold me, okay, reach muddy water." This thing it has already happened in the spiritual land. What is going on now? The federal government, they should set a standard. In Nnamdi Kanu, to a particular length.
It's bad.
We have to let that caller
Moses, if the federal government is creative, going by history all over the world, the best way to cut off a separatist movement is to what? Look at their demand. Those things that is fueling the separatism. Take care of it. And then even the people they are fighting for will be the one to be fighting the separatists. I say, come, what else are you looking for? They are giving all it, they have done it, they have done it, they have done it. What are you fighting for? But the federal government have continued to fuel what is going on because it benefits them. Not knowing that even if they remove Simon Ekpa today on Nnamdi Kanu, a more deadly group may come up. When they took Nnamdi Kanu in, maybe they thought that the problem is over. They have silenced the Southeast. Did it stop the agitation? Did it stop the insecurity? Frederick Forsyth wrote a book, Emeka. At the last page of that book, go and read it. He said it will not be long before another Ojukwu will rise up. Go and look at that book. So that will tell you that this thing, it has been programmed by nature. That nature had brought a vacuum. Yes. Go and check anywhere in the world. Whenever there is that gap. For example now, look at the Southwest. When some people wanted to do something, they say, but your brother is in Abuja now. Look at the peace here now. So the Bohosebi have kept quiet with Showore and all that. There are relative peace here. Is that not true? But why is it that whenever an Igbo man come up, that is when you start hearing all sorts of stories, all sorts of nonsense. The people that are destroying Nigeria, no, we say pamper them, we say welcome them. Moses, how do you reconcile that? If the Igbo want or Peter Obi want to contest election now, they say IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. But what this is going on in the north? It didn't stop Buhari from becoming a president. It was under Buhari that Sunday Igboho read the separatist address. Yet, Tinubu became the president of Nigeria. But let him become Igbo man, so now you see all sorts of noise will come up.
And that was why I have to ask you this question again, Mr. Chukuma. You've not answered my question of what picture do you think that this whole issue of Biafra, the referendum by Simon Ekpa, the convention, what picture do you think is going to paint globally, given the fact that we have seen where some people that have the Biafran flag were marching and in foreign land, and they were being given protection kind of by the police over there.
Before you respond to that question, let's take this comment from WhatsApp. Someone did send a message. Let's have that comment up on the screen. It's Voice of the People, and right here we give you a voice. Okay, so let's take this call. We have a caller as well. Good morning to you. What's your name and your location? And then go into your contribution.
Hello?
Good morning to you. Name, location, and your contribution.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Hello?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm calling from Lagos.
Go ahead.
So I want to talk about this issue of Nnamdi Kanu. My contribution on this thing is that if Nigeria can be able to help us and release Nnamdi Kanu, I believe all this insecurity in the Southeast will stop. I could remember when Nnamdi Kanu started this issue. He started with peacefully.
not looking to it. And when Buhari started hatred, big hatred towards Igbos, I believe that was when this Nnamdi Kanu changed his mind and he started telling ESN to change their strategy. So I don't know. I believe this thing that happened in the north about this protest. Assuming this happened in the southeast, I think Nigeria, all the southeast would have dead by now.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Izuchukwu. Thank you very much for your thoughts there. All right. When you do call into the show, be aware that you have 1 minute. All right. So you call in, you give us your name, your location, and then you get into your contribution.
Beat a child. You can never beat any child and ask that child not to cry. It's not possible.
Floor now.
Fina asked me a question. What the convention is going to do.
What influence will it have now?
The influence it will have is that it will put the issue,
on the front burner.
On the front burner in the international community.
Yes, that's it.
He's like I keep going back to the word that he is negotiating. Whether he's doing it speaking for himself or speaking for the Igbos through himself or what, but he's clearly doing that. Also, note of the fact that some people have disagreed with his methods, like fueling the carnage in the southeast and all of that. It's condemnable. You get the point. But you also look at what the PLO has become today. Look at what Yasser Arafat did with the PLO. At the point, nobody knew about the PLO until Yasser came to the scene. He was able to, with his actions and words and all of that, whether it was terrorism or what, he brought it to the fore, to the point that America had to step in. Look at the Oslo Accords. Look at the Oslo Accords and the recognition that was given to PLO. PLA now became a PLO. Do you know that PLO has observer status now in the United Nations?
All right, let's take another caller now.
Hello, good evening.
Good morning to you. It's morning in Nigeria, where we're broadcasting from. Your name and location, please.
Yes, sir. Yeah, my name is James. I'm calling from US.
All right, then go ahead.
Yes, I was actually listening to what you guys were saying. Thank you so much. But I wanted to be able to lend my voice.
Go right ahead.
Simon Epka.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, at first, when Simon Epka came out, I didn't support Simon Epka. I was not a supporter of Simon Epka, right? But it got to a point where the marginalization, it became too bad. Like, the whole leaders that we have cannot do nothing. We have leaders in Southeast that are supposed to represent us. But because they were not representing us properly, now a lot of us started supporting Simon Epka. Now, till today, I'm still supporting Simon Epka. Why? Because we have leaders who is like a puppet to the Nigerian government who cannot speak. We have governors who are supposed to release the power of the governors. They became powerless. You understand? So what would you do if you're a youth? You end up supporting Simon Epka. And the Nigerian government has shown that the only thing they respond to is only violence. We don't respond to violence. We don't want violence. But that's the only language we have the Nigerian government.
All right, James, your 1 minute is up. Thank you very much for your thoughts.
It boils down to the same thing. The government doesn't want to do the needful. Moses, cure ED. They don't want to do the needful in the southeast. They allow what is going on there because it has to be with the Igbo man. The examples are there. Who is the unknown gunman in the southeast? That government cannot unmask them. Do you know that this same Monday sit at home? Anytime that some people manage to come out and they are killed, you don't see any security men apprehending anybody. How? You don't ask yourself that question. How is it that same Monday, when some people manage to come out to open their shop, they are shot? Who shot them? Have you seen or heard when somebody was apprehended?
Well, when Peter Abba came into office, we saw that there was a motorcade. All right, the police were out to protect people, but before they could get to where the agitators, those with guns, unknown gunmen, were attacking people. They had, done what they wanted to do, and they had left. Well, let's quickly take another call, please. When you have 1 minute, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Your name,
Glad to
location,
join your program.
well, your name, location, and your contribution in 1 minute.
Oh, okay. Okay, my name is Fred James. I'm calling from Canada.
Your name is Fred James.
Fred James.
All right.
From Canada.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you so much for your program, and I also want to thank the one of the your presenter there. Is doing a very great job. Simon Ekpa is a criminal, confirmed criminal, because he worked with the Nigerian government.
Yes.
You cannot tell me that somebody that they can pick him very, very fast, and everybody is complaining. And even they even said it in Senate, you know. How come they cannot pick that idiot? So he's a pure criminal. He's working with the Nigerian government. Right. Yeah. That is why they don't want to, they don't even near him. So they should release Nnamdi Kanu. He is the man that is fighting for his people.
Exactly.
So that guy you see, Simon Ekpa, is working with the Nigerian government. You cannot fight for your people and you are killing them. How can you be going and be killing them every day? Because kidnapper and everything is causing it. Simon Ekpa is a pure criminal.
Thank you so much, Mr. James. But I want you to also know we would want to, you know, use some words because of the fact that we are already.
No, look at it yourself.
So let's find a way to deceive why dropping
the person that the people want. The people that the Igbos want to be released, the person that the Igbos want you to release for them, because they know him, they can fight for him. You refuse. Then this other person is there on his own, and you are saying you want to go and bring every day. You want to go and bring him. You want to go and bring him. Just mere statement. Meanwhile, the guy is waxing stronger. Who is sponsoring him? Who is giving him money?
Okay, now, Mr. Chibuma, when you were talking, you talked about the PLO in Palestine and how they have gained their, recognition now with the EU, and that will bring me to this question now. What do you think will happen? Talking about diplomatic relationship or ties between Nigeria and EU, if the extradition of Mr. Simon Ekpa from Finland did not really fall through?
It's difficult to extradite Simon Ekpa through the EU.
Okay.
Because he's a citizen.
He's Finnish citizen, right? He's Finnish, and Finland happens to be a member of EU. Despite the fact that the EU has a firm foreign affairs policy, that surrounds the EU operations. If there's a conflict, between the foreign policy of the EU and that of Finland takes precedence.
Exactly.
So that's why it's a little bit difficult to go through that route, to go to
the Finnish government have come out to say that they will collaborate with the government of Nigeria to ensure that Simon Ekpa is made to answer for questions.
Yes.
It's a diplomatic
statement. It's a diplomatic statement. They didn't tell you that they were going to extradite him because it's Finnish.
The Finnish government wouldn't want their daughter to become a widow because Simon Ekpa married a Finnish lady.
So you think
they wouldn't want her to become a lady.
So are you of the opinion that the call for by the federal government now going to the EU is more like a deliberate attempt to mar this whole extradition policy even before it will take effect?
See, if the first question you have to ask is there an extradition treaty between Nigeria
and Finland?
That is the first question. Now, the second question is, I have already cleared the issue of the EU. It's not going to happen. Once there is a conflict between the EU and that of Finland takes precedence.
Besides, regardless of an extradition,
they will look at
treaty. There can there be some sort of negotiation outside the treaty?
I was coming to that. What the federal government can do is to adopt some kind of quid pro quo, between them and between themselves, so that the Nigerian government can pressure the Finnish government.
They can't even do that.
To ask Simon Ekpa to tone down his level of information. You understand?
So they can appeal to him.
They can appeal.
Or they can, because he was arrested at some point.
And released after how many minutes?
So they can only appeal to him.
They can appeal.
They can't package him and hand him over to the Nigerian government.
They can't.
Do you know why?
Except you want to get into another issue of rendition.
No. Do you know why?
Which is what we are already dealing with in the case of Nnamdi Kanu. And I would also like to say that, because Nnamdi has been out of circulation for a while now, you know, he turns out more like a saint because he has come to dissociate himself from the carnage in the southeast and all of that. It is good that he has done that, you know, because he clearly didn't ask people to go and kill during sit-at-home protests. He didn't do that, you know. But it will be difficult to
he didn't ask people to go and kill during, but he did say he made statements like the zoo country. You know, things like that.
People have said worse things now, Moses. People have said worse things.
We're getting clarity.
Why didn't you follow those ones?
We are getting clarity. You know? So it's difficult to divorce, you know, the actions and statements of Nnamdi Kanu and that of Simon Ekpa because I think they are in tow. They are in tow, and what they are asking for is, let's talk.
All right then.
Let's talk.
Barrister, your views now.
Yes. As long as Simon Ekpa, like I told you, he's acting on his own and he's acting within the laws of Finland and the UN Charter that is talking of referendum, self-determination, because that's what the government of the EU will be looking at. What is this man talking about? Even within their law, there is nothing you can do. That is why up to today, no single government anywhere in the world have seen IPOB as a terrorist organization because they know what their demands are before the United Nations. Their demands are well known to the whole world. That is why, even when the federal government of Nigeria was begging UK and other people to criminalize IPOB, they just ignored them. Because they know what is going on. That's why I'm telling the federal government of Nigeria. They are the ones fueling this thing. If the situation at home is okay, my dear, automatically, things will fall in place. It will fall in. So they are the ones fueling whatever Simon Ekpa is doing. I say it with authority. If not, there are things they should do. And as long as that young man is within the laws of Finland, you can't go there and do whatever you like. Because they too will be asking you, have you taken of the terrorists you brought into Nigeria? The ones that are carrying gun. Did you see Simon Ekpa with any gun? Did you see him with any gun? Can you pinpoint those who are following Simon Ekpa today and say, yes, we are behind Simon. Simon Ekpa is our leader. He's supporting us. Can you mention any group that is Simon Ekpa has propped up in Nigeria? Can you? But you know IPOB member, whenever anything, they will come and make a statement. Right, nobody will come out and say, we are for Simon Ekpa in the Southeast.
Should we consider this your concluding thoughts, or you want you have another?
Yes, what I want to say in essence is that if you cannot beat any child and ask that child not to cry, it's not possible.
Okay.
You are beating the Southeasterners since 1967, and they have been crying.
All right. Then.
And you said they should not cry. It's not possible.
All right. Then,
treat them like every other Nigerian.
Thank you very much.
And treat them.
Your thoughts as well.
No, I think the government should look at the root cause of what is happening in the Southeast and address it. The moment they address it, all these things will fizzle out.
Better.
Okay. That's quite precise and concise there. Well, let's go to messages sent. Let's take some of your contributions. Well, we have this one on, this was sent via WhatsApp. I think by the same individual. This one here reads, as long as Nnamdi Kanu is still in the Nigerian custody, we know Simon Ekpa is our leader. And that in capital letters. He says, this man saying that Simon Ekpa is not talking for Igbos, he's not telling the truth. Well, the barrister does not know what is coming. What is coming, please?
I wonder.
Let him just, okay. Well, we would like you to be respectful as you put out be respectful and civil as you put out your thoughts there. Well, he went on to say that Barrister Gumbo should wait till December 2. You will understand what we want and let it be known to you that whether Nnamdi Kanu is out or not, we are not going to back down. Biafra is going. We are no more Nigerians. We are Biafrans. Name is Ethelbert Echendu from Spain. It would have been more interesting if you were here in Nigeria.
I wonder.
Canvassing.
I wonder.
You know, it would have been more.
Okay, and this says, my barrister, what do you say about 30 days lockdown in the Igbo land? What are you saying about it since you said Simon Ekpa is not known by Igbos? You have not yet understand what is coming.
I am telling you, hold on, I am telling you, if Simon Ekpa is behind it, how can he be operating from Finland? Who is he giving order? That is the question you should be asking. Who is that person that is acting?
He says that the government is in exile. We do have governments in exile.
Really?
Yes.
And who are those people that are behind him in Igbo land? Who are those people? How can you identify anybody that is saying, I am working for Simon Ekpa in Igbo land? Can you
So you want the persons to come and say, I'm the person behind it?
So that we can identify them now.
Okay, now you are saying that the federal government is behind it. Can you point at the people that...
because they allowed it. They allowed it. They allowed it. That's why I'm saying that the federal government, because there is no other government, apart from the federal government, that can take care of anything within their space. So if you allowed it, then you are responsible for what is going on. It's as simple as that.
All right then, Barrister Darlington Agomo, we must appreciate you for your time and your thoughts on the program.
Thank
as
you.
we make to conclude. Chukwuma is still very much with us. Chukwuma Okoro, thank you very much for your thoughts as well, but Chukwuma is still very much, like I said, with us.
He's a double agent this morning.
He's a double agent. Okay. Well, I think we have another caller.
Just the last call for today.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Your name and location.
Hello, sir.
Your name, your location, and your contribution. 1 minute, please.
Okay, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
My name is Mr. Solomon, sir.
Okay, location?
I'm calling for, my name is Mr. Solomon. I'm coming from Lagos State.
Okay. Go ahead.
Hello. Yes, sir. Sir, I love the program, sir. I'm very happy for the program. But my opinion is say they should release my Nnamdi Kanu, because if they release Nnamdi Kanu for DSS, from southeast will be calm. Number one, see what happened for North, because they are killing innocent people. Hello, sir.
We are hearing you.
Yes. Go ahead.
They are killing many people for North, because this thing will happen last week on Sunday. He said that for Abuja, he said that the East.
All
this
right,
thing happened.
Let me
from East. Hello, sir.
Well, I think that's all we can say. But let me just ask you quickly. You are calling from Nigeria. You're here in Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
Are you a follower of Simon Ekpa?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm support from Simon Ekpa, sir.
You're a supporter of Simon Ekpa.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you believe Simon Ekpa is? And you believe Simon Ekpa is pushing the agenda of Nnamdi Kanu?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, Solomon from Lagos, thank you very much for your thoughts there.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
How come IPOB and
well, that's it on the show today. Barrister, thank you very much. Barrister Darlington Agomo and Chukwuma Okoro, who is still very much with us. Well, we'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll delve into another aspect of the show, which is strength. Stay with us.
With gratitude to God for a life well spent, the family of Ayinla Fatuke announces the passing away of our father, grandfather, uncle, and brother, Pa Benjamin Babatunde Ayinla Fatuke, who passed away on the 30th of July 2024 at the age of 96. Service of songs and wake at Genesis Hall, Yaba Baptist Church, 19 to 23 Commercial Avenue by Raymond Street, Yaba, Lagos. Time 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Lying in state between 9 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. and celebration of life service by 10 a.m. at the same venue. Interment follows immediately. Announcer Mayowa Fatunke for the family.
All right, VOP this morning still with you. And, well, there's an issue that's been going on. And let's just talk about this one for a little bit. We still have our guest with us, Barrister Darlington. He's the guest, you know. Chukuma is not a guest, actually. Well, the Nigerian government is threatening to enforce no work, no pay policy on striking doctors amid the ongoing failure to rescue abducted colleague, Popwala, who's been abducted for over 8 months now. Well, doctors started their seven-day warning strike, and the government has said, look, we will not pay you for the days that you do not work. Well, some doctors have come out to say, look, we don't care whether you pay us or not. We will continue this strike until our colleague is released. Barrister, what's your thoughts on this one, really?
It is a bad way to follow this matter because we are going through that. We are going through this route.
Well, government is of the opinion that they don't want anything that will affect the economy, anything that will affect the lives of patients. And resident doctors being on strike, don't you think that will affect?
Then they should have done the needful ab initio. They should have done the needful. These ladies have been there for 8 months. They have not waited enough. If their own children or their own family members were in that captivity, would they have waited for this long? More so when 20 other medical students were rescued under 3 days or so. Then this other lady, who is a professional to the core, a physician, she has been there, a nursing mother.
Well, government is also saying that negotiation is still ongoing.
No, please. We are tired of hearing. What negotiation? That negotiation you did for these 2 other 20. Why didn't you do it for this woman? Buhari, we are negotiating of Elia Sharibu up to today. What happened? Buhari even called the mother of that girl. That don't worry, very soon the girl will come back. Up to today, have you seen her?
Unfortunately.
So what are you not saying?
Now to you, Chukuma. What's the thought on this? Given the fact that doctors took the oath of Hippocrates to make sure they maintain how to, keep life and,
preserve
lives. Now they are going on strike, and we know that some people also will die.
Unfortunately, their own life is at stake. So you have to live.
Every oath has a limitation. Yes, exactly.
It's kind of unfortunate that this government likes to be bullied into action. They wait
government likes to be bullied into action. Or likes to bully people.
No, the government likes to be bullied into action. Look at this woman has been in detention for like 8 months or so, and the National Association of Resident Doctors say they want to go. This is a warning strike, by the way, 7 days warning strike. Yeah. And the government comes out to say they are disappointed with doctors. Disappointed, you say? For people speaking out. And meanwhile, government also allow, why I say they like to be bullied into action is that they allow it to degenerate until before they come in to negotiate. And they say discussions are ongoing. Government should be proactive.
Well, we'll talk more about this during the newspaper analysis. Well, once again, thank you very much.
Even also, Moses, you saw how long also have been negotiated.
Barrister,
when they go on strike now, no work, no pay. No work, no pay.
We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll have trends.
From the views on the street,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries. Voice of the People, 90.3 FM, became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
Thank you for staying with us. Still VOP this morning. We have Chisom Eninaya in the studio for Trends. Good morning, Chisom.
Good morning, Fina. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
All right, let's get right to Trends. Cristiano Ronaldo has been honored with a prestigious award from the UEFA Champions League, recognizing him as the all-time top scorer in the competition's history. The award was presented during the 2024/2025 UEFA Champions League draw ceremony, recognizing Ronaldo's achievement of scoring 140 goals in 183 appearances. The award was presented by the UEFA president, who praised Ronaldo's sustained excellence and his significant contribution to the sport. All right, we have comments from RK Charan. All right, he said, "Congratulations to the one and only Cristiano Ronaldo on receiving the all-time top scorer award. A true legend who continues to redefine greatness. GOAT CR7 legend." Okay, another comment from Edith King said, "This was not bought, it was earned. Congratulations."
We've talked about this the other day where I said it, that Cristiano Ronaldo happens to be the greatest of all time. That's what the GOAT means.
Okay.
Yes. And then Moses said, why would you say that? Because I know maybe he's a supporter of Lionel Messi.
It's a side eye for me.
But for me, I'm super happy because this is coming from Alexander Etherin. He's the president of UEFA. He said it. And he ended it. See, CR and this one.
I like to have a balanced conversation.
Balance it.
I like to have a balanced
140 goals, appearances.
When you said he was the greatest of all time, I did not dispute that.
What did you say?
All right. All I said was, well, he's not the only one. There are also other greats. Lionel Messi is a great player as well. Cristiano, I am actually a supporter of CR7.
Plenty.
Okay.
But this is a great achievement.
Yeah.
It's a great one, and he tested his popularity even further when he started his own YouTube page.
Yes.
In minutes, it had skyrocketed. So big congratulations once again, Cristiano Ronaldo. 140 goals in 183 appearances. Come on.
That's a lot. Good one. That's a beautiful one.
That's a lot.
I pray that Nigerians will also get the likes of Oshime, the likes of Lukman, and the likes of Iwobi and all that. I wish everyone.
Let's not put them under pressure.
No, I'm not putting anybody under pressure. I'm wishing them well. This is wishing them well.
They will do their own.
Congratulations to Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
But I support Enyimba.
I'm not going to ask you to name the player. I won't do that. That's fine.
All right, that's all we have for Trends this morning.
All right, then we'll stay with us because we have so much more to come your way. All right, this is Voice of the People Television. And that's it on the show today. Big thanks to you, Chisom.
Thank you.
Big thanks also from us here, Chukuma Okoro, Fina Okechukwu, the backroom staff. I am Moses Humphrey, wishing you a beautiful day. Bye for now. Stay on 9 o'clock, 9 to 10, newspaper analysis with Chukuma and I.
With gratitude to God for a life well spent, the family of Ayinla Fatunke announces the passing away of our father, grandfather, uncle, and brother, Pa Benjamin Babatunde Ayinla Fatunke, who passed away on the 30th of July 2024 at the age of 96. Service of songs and wake at Genesis Hall, Yaba Baptist Church, 19 to 23 Commercial Avenue by Raymond Street, Yaba, Lagos. Time 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Lying in state between 9 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. and celebration of life service by 10 a.m. at the same venue. Interment follows immediately. Announcer Mayowa Fatunke for the family. Good morning. It's the start of a beautiful day. Well, start your day right with a healthy dose of news, fun, and inspiration. Join us on VOP this morning for the latest news, trending topics, and uplifting stories to set your day on the right vibe. From news and current events to lifestyle and entertainment, you are covered. Showing from 7 to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday on VOP TV. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.